Hello. Hi, Eddie. Hopefully you can hear me. I gotta grab a treat for Obi really quick, so she'll be quiet. Go. Okay. Okay. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Just want to make sure that the sound is coming through. All right. Hey, Lena. Hi. All right. Loud and clear. Perfect. All right. Well, this is our third live, so I'm a lot less nervous this time than before, which is a good thing. So today we are going to be focusing on the Gingham Square Dance quilt, right? So this is a free pattern. If you don't have this already, this should be linked in the description box of this video and all of my videos, really. I think I updated. I'm about to pop this microphone right off of my shirt. It's kind of, that's the bad part about wearing t-shirts. The microphone's like way up here. Hopefully that sounds okay still. So, but yeah, this pattern is available in most of my description boxes anyways of videos, and it's free. All you need to do is give me your email and I send you it over in a PDF form, and you can print it out or you can use it on your computer or phone or iPad, whatever you like to use your quilt patterns on. So the last time we were here, we pieced together all of our strips. I'm just going to jump right into it if that's okay. Unless if anybody has a question, go ahead and leave it in the chat and make sure that you put a few question marks before the questions so it really stands out to me. So if I need to answer any questions, I am happy to do that throughout this time, okay? Happy to do that. But so we basically stripped together two different sizes of strips. So I've got my two smaller strips. So these were made, oh, let's see, because I can't remember my own pattern. These were 3.5-inch strips for these sets. And then the other sets are 6.5-inch strips. And we just sewed them together. And now comes everybody's favorite part. And that is pressing. Pressing is so much fun, right? It's definitely not my favorite step of the whole quilt making process. It really isn't. But it's necessary, and it really does make a really big difference in your finished quilts if you press the seams really nicely. So, let's see. Hi, Auntie Julie. Thank you. I like my shirt too. I thought it was pretty fitting. And I will definitely tell my dad hi for you. Julie in the chat is my dad's sister. So there you go. But anyways, so we're gonna start pressing. So I have my ironing board. I'm trying something new here. I have my ironing board right here in front of me. So I have my work table, then I have my ironing board right in front of me. I'm gonna go ahead and plug my iron in to get it warm. Hopefully, yes, it has power. Okay, good. And we're gonna get started. So I'm actually going to point the camera down and kind of zoom in a little bit. So hopefully you can see the ironing board. Please do not judge my ironing board. If you saw my last video where I'm working on a custom quilt, the fabric that I'm working with, for some reason, I'm not really sure why, but it has stained my ironing board really bad. So my ironing board has all kinds of brown and blue stains on it now. So I've got that going on. That's good. So it's kind of like brown as if it got scorched from my iron, but it wasn't scorching the fabric or anything. So I don't really know what happened. I wasn't using steam, but it's just brown. So anyways, so don't judge me if you notice. But okay, so I gotta move stuff around here so I can get to the camera and point it down so we can see what we're doing. So, okay, here we go. Trying to keep it straight as well. Okay. And then we'll zoom in. Sorry for the herky-jerky camera motions, guys. I think that should be good. So, to press, oh yeah, that looks pretty good. I'll kind of angle this down here a little bit. So, for our seams, I tried to make it super easy for everybody with the pattern. And so for pressing, it's really easy. So we are on page 4 of the pattern if you're using the pattern. And basically, we're going to press all of the orange and pink strips. So from both sizes, we're going to press all of the seams to the right. And then the light pink and orange strips, we'll press all of those seams to the left. And this is strategic because this is going to help our seams nest really well when we go to sew them together, which is really cool. And it just really helps the corners match really nicely. It just looks really, really good. So yes, so I am going to go ahead and start pressing my seams to the right. So, all right. I usually like to press my seams lengthwise. So, and let's see. If I hold this straight to the right, okay, so I'm going to be pressing them all this way. So towards you guys, I'm going to be pressing these, and then the other strips I'll be pressing towards me. So to press your seams, this is kind of how I do it. I just lay everything flat on my ironing board. I got my iron here. I bit the bullet and I bought the big Oliso iron. And it has been fantastic. I really, really like it. But I got it on a really good deal because you guys know I don't like to pay full price for stuff. So I actually found this one on a website called Mercari. And Mercari is very similar to eBay. But the nice thing about Mercari is if you buy something, you have 3 days after you get it to kind of test it out and make sure it actually works and make sure it's actually in the condition that the person said it was. So the person that I purchased this from said it was brand new. So I bought it and I got a very good deal on it. I think these retail for like $200 and I got this one for $130, I do believe. So it was like $70 off, which is very good. And I tested it. I looked at it very closely when I was pulling it out of the box. The entire thing was still in its original packaging. It didn't look like it had been used at all. So, and I tested it. It worked. Nothing blew up. And it's been working great ever since. So yeah, if you do buy anything from a site like Mercari or eBay, I always like to see if there's like a return window and test the thing before I just decide I'm going to keep it. But anyways, that was a little rant. So I think I can probably press and talk at the same time. So what I like to do when I'm pressing is I kind of grab the fabric. You can't really see, my table's in the way, but I'm grabbing the edge of the fabric and I just lightly pull on it. I'm not tugging on it where I'm putting stress on the seam. I'm just pulling it so the seam is not folded at all when I go to press. And then I just kind of do that all the way down as I run my iron down. Very, very entertaining stuff, right? Pressing seams, yay! But it's necessary, and I have grown to like it more. When I first started quilting, I will be 100% honest, I did not press very often. Only when I had to. You know, if I could get away with not really pressing or not being super kind of strategic with the direction that I pressed and stuff, or open seams versus closed seams. But now that I really see the advantage to pressing seams correctly, I do it more often. Well, I do it all the time. And I try to include the instructions in my quilt patterns too, because I think that's important. Because a lot of quilt patterns, they don't tell you how to press the seams, and it's like, I'd kind of like to know how to do that so, you know, my blocks look as good as possible. So I got my first one pressed. It's like super crisp on the front. LOL, this isn't Auntie Julie. Ha! That's hilarious. Never mind. Oh, it's Julie from Michigan. Okay, there we go. Well, my email will probably show up sometime later today. That's funny. But here's what the seam looks like. So it's just pressed very nicely, nice and crisp. And then we're just going to continue that, pressing all of them in the same direction. Man, that orange fabric kind of got a little darker with the heat. I'm hoping that kind of fades back to the regular color. I don't think I've ever had that happen before, where it stays the color for longer than a few seconds with the iron on it. These are Kona solids. I like Kona, but I have recently heard some not great stuff about Kona, how it can fade and stuff. So I don't know. I haven't experienced that. But I mean, we'll see. I do like to try other solids too, but Kona was just what was available to me at the beginning, because I shopped pretty much only at Joann's when I first started, and that was the solid that was available. You know what? I'm gonna pull my hair back. It is just so hot, and the iron is making it even hotter. Oh, I heard about that, the huge power outage. That's pretty scary, especially during the heat of the summer. That can be bad. Let me know if you guys have any questions, or if you want me to go over anything in particular. I'm happy to help. But this is pretty, I mean, pressing these seams is pretty basic, so. Ooh. I was wondering wondering how long it was going to take for someone to ask about that, Lena. So Lena asks, how is the shed remodel coming along? It is coming, slowly but surely. I took a little time off working on it because I had other things I had to work on. So yeah, I don't like that hold on a second. I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but the color of the orange is definitely kind of tweaked from the heat. And I'm hoping that kind of goes back to normal, because that would be a little annoying if it didn't. But anyways, shed remodel. So I took a little time off because I had to work on that custom quilt that I showed you guys in my last video. And I just had other things that I needed to work on. And also I was waiting for stuff to come in. So I had ordered like all of the I gotta make sure that I'm doing this correctly. Put them all to the right. Okay. I just had to wait for all the electrical stuff to come in from the order and just all that stuff. So I recently, a couple of days ago, started digging the trench for the electrical wire to be run from the house to the shed. So it's about 75 feet, give or take a few feet. So I'm digging a little trench about that wide and about that deep with a spade, and just doing that and burying the wire. And that's taking a little bit of time because my muscles are not used to that kind of work. So yesterday was actually the first day I started digging, and I got a good chunk done. But then when I woke up this morning, oh my goodness, I had some sore muscles in my back and just tired. So I got some more done today, but I just figured I wasn't going to push it and, possibly actually hurt myself. It's okay to have some sore muscles, but I didn't want to actually injure anything. So I'm taking my time getting it done, but I should have that done. I'm hoping to finish it this weekend, digging the little trench and putting and burying the wire. So yeah. And then after that's done, then we'll be able to wire up the building. So that'll be an exciting step, because then we'll be able to I can just have electric out there. So have fans running when I'm working on the inside, and we'll be able to start putting walls up and all that stuff. So hopefully once the electrical is done, then everything else will happen pretty quickly. That's what I'm hoping for. So that's how it's going. It's going good. Not much has been done since my last video on it. So, but I have been doing a lot of searching on like Pinterest and Instagram for kind of inspiration for my decorating, because I really, really want to decorate the shed to look really cute too. I don't want it to just kind of look like everybody else's craft room, a lot. There's nothing wrong with the way people's craft rooms look like, but I don't want everything to be white and all that stuff, as I have like white cabinets behind me. But I really enjoy thrifting and using vintage stuff in my decorating. So I'm really going to try to find kind of vintage furniture as much as I can, and just have it be like really homey and cozy. So yeah, I am excited about it. And that way I'll probably save a lot of money on furniture, especially. I'll probably end up having to buy I want like a couch or a love seat or something in there to work on. So I'll probably end up buying a brand new couch because I don't want to have to worry about like fleas from someone or, it being stinky and pet smells on it. And my pets are going to be out there and I don't want them to be disturbed by other pet smells on the furniture and things like that. So I will be on the hunt for the perfect couch, chair thing, whatever I decide on. But yeah. Okay. You didn't press set seams before the direction pressing. I don't understand your question, Denise. Didn't press set seams before the direction pressing. I have not pressed the seams yet at all for these. These are the same as when I finished sewing them together. Okay. Deborah asks, Miriam, have you ever used one of those wood blocks to set your short seams? I have, yes. So I have used, it's called a tailor clapper. And yes, I have used one in the past. It does help those seams lay super flat. And yeah, I think I showed in my last live, but so I don't have an actual tailor clapper. I have this little cutting board that I got at a garage sale. So it's a cutting board that someone used for, I'm assuming, cutting veggies and stuff. And I use that. So I just lay that on the seam and it works the same way. And this was like $1 instead of, $25 or however much they usually charge for a tailor clapper. So that's an idea. Someone else, I cannot remember who said this, but I think it was in our Facebook group. And there's a lady in there that went to a home improvement store and bought a stair railing, like the wooden stair railing, and had them cut that into pieces. And she uses those as clappers, which I think is such a great idea. And they look cool and they have a built-in kind of handle because it's for, holding on to when you're going down the stairs. So I thought that was a really cool idea. So you don't have to use a tailor clapper to get the effects. So basically what happens when you use a tailor clapper is you place it on the seam that you've just pressed. So it's still hot. You press it on the seam. And what happens is the wood absorbs the heat and that seam will kind of cool down and lay really nice and flat for you. And the weight from the wood is holding it down flat. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. If you use that in conjunction also with like a wool pressing mat, you can get very flat seams that way. And I have done that before. But I used to work for a company that sold different sewing notions. So that's how I know about that kind of stuff. And that's how I used one before, because they had sent me all of their products and I was kind of their customer service person to explain how their stuff worked. So that was fun. Let's see. Okay, Denise put a follow-up. From the machine, you press just like you sewed flat. This set the stitches then you press the seam whichever way you want it to press finish. So yeah. Pressing seams is when you're stitching two pieces of fabric together, that's not really pressing a seam. That's just creating the seam. So you can press it either way, whichever way you want, whichever way works best for you. You can also press seams open, which you basically open the two sides of the seam and press it open like that. And that can help seams lay really flat. But yeah, after you sew fabric together, you can press it either way. It kind of depends on the pattern that you're making and if you're wanting to what's called nest your seams. So I hope I answered your question. I hope that made sense. All right. I'm actually getting stuff done in this video. little bit anyways. All right. So I have my seams all pressed to the right for these. For the dark pink and orange fabrics. Looks pretty good. And update on the orange fabric, it looks like that darkening of the fabric has faded. So that was weird and a little concerning, but it looks like it has faded back to just the regular orange shade. So that is very good. So I'm just going to lay that over there for now. And now for these seams. Yeah, see how icky my ironing board looks, you guys? Ew, looks so bad. I'm going to have to make a new cover or something. But yeah, I don't know what happened. Very weird. I've never had that happen before. And I've worked with lots of different fabrics. Yes, Haley. Hey, Haley Stitches. Good to see you. She says that she's been there with the fabric changing with heat. So scary for a moment. Yeah, I was very confused about what was going on. I've had that happen before, but it usually just like fades right away, you know? But it was kind of holding the heat, I guess, was what happened. But okay. Do I have any other questions? Let me scroll up here really quick. So is the shed getting a chandelier? Oh, probably not. Probably not. That would be fun. I also thought about a ceiling fan, but my ceilings are still not going to be super high. They are going to be about 8 foot, maybe a little less than 8 feet. So, and then a ceiling fan, it does hang down a ways, you know, and then there's the fan. So that would still be hanging down pretty low, and it just, for me, it just doesn't make sense. So unfortunately, no. So if I need a fan, I'm just going to have to get a normal fan, which I would like to get kind of one of those standing oscillating fans, I think they're called, the ones that kind of move around. So if I ever need it for airflow, I'll have it, but oh well. And chandelier, yeah. I just don't think for my purposes it would work, unfortunately. But let's see. Okay. Jacqueline asks, do you have consignment shops near you? Near me, if I go to Kansas City, which is, you know, an hour and a half away. But yeah, so there are some kind of antique shops, but I got to remember to actually drink water so my voice doesn't get all scratchy. But so there are antique shops, but a lot of the antique shops kind of in my area, I live in a very rural area, And a lot of the antiques, it's just kind of junk. It's not really legitimate antiques. So if I want to go to actual antique stores, I need to drive about an hour, which it's not bad. I know to some people that's like, well, you have to drive an hour. But I'm so used to it now. That's just kind of the new normal. If we want to go somewhere, you just got to drive an hour and a half. So it's not too bad. I get to listen to music or podcast on the drive, and it's no big deal. So so yeah. But yeah, there's some really big antique shops out near Kansas City. I don't know if anybody is around that area, but there's this one antique store called the Brass Armadillo. If you're ever in the area, you should go. It is a humongous antique mall, basically. And you could spend hours and hours and hours there. And a lot of times the little booths, it's set up like in a booth form. So there's different sellers that have their own little booth set up and everything. And you can find all kinds of cool stuff there. So I definitely recommend that if you're ever in the area, the Brass Armadillo in Blue Springs, Missouri. And then there's, Goodwills and things like that. But yeah, it's just, you just kind of go around. And I also really like to go to estate sales. So garage sales are kind of hit or miss because a lot of times it's just people trying to get rid of kind of their junk, for lack of a better word. But estate sales, a lot of times they're selling bigger pieces and nicer stuff, especially in this area. I didn't really go to estate sales when I lived in Minnesota, but here in Missouri, in this area, there are a lot of antique collectors in this area. So their estate sales are basically like little antique shops, which is really cool. So I try to me and my mom really like to go to those together. So we like to rummage through people's stuff. And another nice thing about estate sales is a lot of times it's in air conditioning because it's inside. You go to the people's house. It feels a little awkward at first because you're going into someone's house and like rummaging through their things, but you've been invited to do that. So anyways, let me keep pressing, or we're not going to get very far tonight. But yeah, so that was a long answer to, yeah, there are consignment stores near me, and I do like to go to them when I can. I also like to shop online. If I'm shopping for clothing, I really like to shop at thredup.com. That's like a online consignment store for clothing. And you can get really good deals on nice clothing. Because I like to shop cheap or be as frugal as possible, but I like to have nice things or to buy nice things, because I want it to last. I don't want, to buy cheap clothing and then it just fall apart after a year, So anyways, that's my 2 cents. All right. Okay, Jacqueline, yeah. I admittedly have very little sewing experience. It seems like a lot of ironing. Is that typical of quilting versus apparel sewing? Yeah. Yeah, there is quite a bit of ironing. There is. But let's see. How do I want to word it? It's so worth it. It's so worth it. Coming from someone that does not like ironing, let me start ironing here. It can seem tedious, and honestly it is, because I'm not a fan of ironing or pressing, whatever term you want to use, but it is worth it, and it really makes a huge difference in your finished blocks. My cord is stuck. There we go. Oh my goodness. There we go. So it makes a big difference. So what I like to do is I kind of like to do things in bulk. So I get a bunch of pieces ready that need to be pressed. And then I, again, put on some music or put on a podcast and I just listen to that while I press my seams or press my blocks, whatever I need to be doing. So yeah, it is kind of a necessary thing for quilt making because it just really does help the blocks lay a lot flatter, which in turn helps your quilts look a lot better, you know? So unfortunately, yes, it is necessary. Oop. New cover time. Yes, Kate, I need to make a new cover for my ironing board. That'll be fun. I've never done that before. This is just the cover that came with it. So that'll be fun. So I am planning on, for my shed, I'm planning on having like a larger like pressing station. So I'm going to have like a cart type deal with a larger area to press, which will be very handy, especially when I'm having to press like a quilt top before basting and stuff. That'll be really nice. All right. No, she means you didn't set the seam. Oh, okay. Thank you, Faye. Yeah, I guess I don't do that. It's just an extra step to me, but if that's something that you like to do, then you should do it. That's the great thing about quilting. I mean, there's so many different ways to do things, and you just got to figure out what works for you and do it. I don't think I've ever set seams before actually pressing. Who knows? Maybe I'll try it and realize, oh wow, I should have been doing this the entire time. Okay. Home life with Linda. Tried glue basting and grid quilting now. Awesome. That is great. Very good. Linda asks, did you iron batiks? No, I did not, because my batiks that I had, let me show you them real quick. They were a really great garage sale find. I went to a garage sale of a quilter and I didn't even know it till I got there. But she had these, if I can reach them. She had these. So these are like little sample things. I guess you would just call them samples of different fabrics that are sent to, I'm assuming, a quilt shop. And this lady had just a whole bunch of these for really cheap. And I just grabbed them. As you can see, I've been slowly working my way through them and cutting out pieces when I need to, but they all lay really nice and flat. If I needed to iron them, then I would. But all of the pieces that I had to cut were already nice and flat and straight. So yeah, so that was pretty cool. So you can find all kinds of stuff at garage sales. Oh, goodness. So yeah, that's my little bundle of batiks. And there's a tag on here from August 4th of 2010. So they're a little bit older. So that's pretty cool. So yeah. Laura Green asks, do you press both sides, front and back? Usually I do. That's funny because right now talking to you guys, I haven't done that. But yeah, usually I do. When I'm pressing a seam, I will press on the back to actually press the seam and make sure I get it nice and flat. And then I'll just flip it over real quick and run my iron over the seam on the front. I will probably do that after I get this last chunk done. So thank you for asking that question. All right. Let's see. Killspun asks, I have a funky shaped leftover piece of batting. Can I cut it into 2 pieces and use those for inside my quilt? Side by side, not all on top of each other. Yes. Yes, you can. So that's what the cool kids call Franken batting. So I would suggest stitching them together. So if your machine has a zigzag stitch, Nashelle, you just take the 2 pieces of batting and butt them right up next to each other and then do a zigzag stitch. So you're grabbing both pieces and just zigzag them together. And then you've got a whole new piece of batting to use for a quilt. So, yep, lots of people do that and it works great. I've done it many, 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 many times and it works very well. Okay, I got to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. I like to confuse myself for fun sometimes. Okay. Got that. Oh my word. It's down. So those go up. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Paula says the brass armadillo sounds like a bar. It does a little bit, doesn't it? Marie says ThreadUp is now way high. I found some great buys at TJ Maxx recently for quality clothes. Yep, I shop at TJ Maxx a lot too. With ThreadUp, you kind of have to wait till they're having one of their like 70% off sales. So it's kind of hit or miss when they're having a good sale or not. But yeah, you can get good deals. It's kind of a waiting game and just seeing what's available when they're having those sales, you know, which I think is kind of fun. It's like the thrill of the hunt. Yeah, Denise, you're so right. She says, I think the iron is just as important as your sewing machine. Both make the job get done. Yeah, it's very true. It helps so much better. Kate asks, how do you like the Oliso iron? I love it. I love it. It's so great. If you're able to afford one, I would recommend it. It's so awesome. I love the little razor thing. So it has like a little riser. So when you put it down and you take your hand off of it, it lifts. I don't know if you can't really see it, but it lifts up. So it's not going to burn your fabric, which I really like that. That's very nice. and the steam works great. I love the weight of it. I don't have to press. Like when I'm pressing, I don't actually have to physically press down hard to press my seams. I just really, really like it, and it's huge. So I was a little nervous it would give me hand cramps because my hands are, they can get sore sometimes. I don't know if I've suffered from carpal tunnel or what, but it can be annoying. So I was a little nervous about using such a huge iron. That's why I had the little mini Oliso, which I also love. But the big one is so good. I really, really like it. All right, let's see. Oh, Jacqueline, you're Jackie from Destashify. Hey, girl. I didn't know that. So nice to see you. You guys, if you're looking for good deals on fabric or yarn or other sewing stuff, crafty stuff, Destashify is a really good website. I really like it. I did a video on it not too long ago, and that was really fun. It's a really great site. So, and you're kind of helping another quilter or crafter out by purchasing their stuff that they're trying to sell. So I think it's a win-win type of situation. And it's a lot less overwhelming trying to find stuff on, I need to keep going. It's a lot less overwhelming shopping on there than on eBay. Because eBay is it's getting kind of crazy these days. And a lot of the stuff isn't it's not actually sold by, just someone that's trying to sell their stuff. It's like a drop shipping company type thing, if that makes sense. So, yeah. So I really like Destashify. Okay. And Jacqueline, I think I will stick with garment sewing. Okay, that's fair. I need to try garment sewing. I've been wanting to try. It looks like so much fun. But I'd like to do like a quilty twist on stuff. There's Auntie Julie. Julie S. Hi Miriam, where can we get that shirt? Love it. I got this shirt at Missouri Star Quilt Company. It's probably been 3 or 4 years ago now since I got it. So I don't know if they still have the same one on their website. But yep, I got it. I think I actually got it my first trip to Hamilton because I went to the actual stores. I'm about an hour and a half away from Hamilton. So, yeah. Auntie Julie, I don't know if you saw, but there was another Julie in here in the chat, and I thought it was you. Just funny. Cindy West asks, what does a gingham square dance quilt look like? Well, when it's finally done, it's going to look like that. So it's just 4 large squares with different sized gingham patterns. So that's what it'll look like. And it'll be a 60 by 60 inch square quilt when it's done. So there you go. Okay, I think I'm caught up with the questions. Ooh, Paula says, yes, we want an update on your little quilting shed. Oh, goodness. The quilting shed is coming along. I didn't get a lot done on it in the last week and a half or so. I was kind of waiting for all the electrical stuff to come in and just getting some other projects done. I had a custom quilt order that I needed to get done. I haven't got it done yet, but I have the quilt top and the quilt back made. So tomorrow, actually, I get the fun job of pin basting that quilt because I don't want to do glue basting. I know a lot of people have asked, are you going to be glue basting? But no, I will not be glue basting this quilt because I don't want to have to wash it in my washing machine when I'm done because of the fabrics that we're using. So they have like, it has like painted on gold designs, and it's either painted or stamped. I think it's like a large stamp, but anyways, it's like a gold paint, and I would just feel awful if I ruined it, you know? So I will be pin basting that tomorrow, which will be a task, but it'll be all right. We'll get it done. I like it. I kind of enjoy pin basting. It's not my favorite, obviously. I love glue basting, but I can also pin baste. That's how I basted before I learned about glue basting. So anyways, that I kind of went off the quilt shed. I have been working on digging the trench from the house to the shed to bury my electrical wire. So that's what I've been working on. I'm hoping to have that done this weekend. I've been doing some recording of that, but I mean, that's not super, it's not a super exciting process, but yeah. Then once that's done, once we have the electrical wire all buried, then we'll be able to wire up the building and have electrical out there. Then the fun begins, because then we get to put up walls and get stuff going. So I'm very, very excited about it. So excited. It's like I'm thinking about it constantly. I'm looking at design ideas, and I'm still shopping for flooring. I haven't decided on the flooring yet. So I know I want something waterproof and I want something very durable. So it's either going to be like a vinyl plank or a laminate. So I'm just shopping around for, like I always say, like for a good deal and for something that I like color-wise. So I like the look of wood, but obviously hardwood just isn't, it's not waterproof and it's not super durable. So that's what's up with the quilting shed so far. Oh, Jacqueline, that would be amazing. She says, let's give someone a gift certificate in the live. How should we do it? Hold on a second here. Let's see. Let's see. What's this? Am I able to? I don't think I can do anything about that. Let's see. How should we do that? I don't know. Let's see. How about I can ask a question and the first person that answers it will win. And then that person will need to email me and we will get you the gift certificate. How about that? Does that sound good, Jacqueline?
Oh, Patty says, vinyl plank, you won't be sorry. It looks like wood, wears like iron. Yeah, I keep on hearing really
good stuff about the vinyl planking. So that's probably what I'll go with. I just
gotta find a good deal on it.
because the luxury vinyl plank, yeah, I think that's what it's called. It can actually be kind of pricey. And I've got almost 300 square feet that I'm gonna have to cover. And I really don't want to have to spend like $1,000 on flooring. But I want the flooring to last, so I might just have to bite the bullet and, you know, invest a little extra on flooring than what I was thinking. But oh, the mic is rubbing up against my neck. Oh, see, that's the bad part about wearing a t-shirt, because I was trying to kind of clip it on my shirt, but then it kind of, well, it's okay if it wrinkles up the shirt, I guess. And hopefully it just doesn't fall off. If it falls off, I can get it. Or most likes given. Ooh, that sounds fun, Jacqueline, but I don't know how to check that. So let's see. Okay, only when I lean forward it was rubbing. Well, hopefully this is okay, and we'll just go with it. All right, I'm going to answer some questions because I'm getting a little behind on the questions, and I want to make sure I answer everybody that asks. Simply Quilting with Nancy Sanders. Do you plan to get a long arm someday? So I would like to, just because I think it would be really fun. But is it a plan as of right now? No. It's like one of those like someday things. But I said the same thing about having a sewing studio. So I might. But then I there's so many things that would go into getting a long arm for me, because I would want there to be like a legitimate reason why I was getting it, not just, just for funsies, because it's a lot of money. It takes a lot of space, and it will take a lot of time to learn how to use it. So I don't know if I would at some point offer long arm services, or kind of what I would do. But it's something I would like to do. I'd like to have someday, but we will see. We'll see. There will be space in the shed for it. I've already kind of like thought in my head, like, well, if I ever do get a long arm, this is where I would put it. So, I mean, the thought has already crossed my mind. All right. Crystal asks, have you ever used a Dresden plate template? I've been tempted to try to create a Dresden plate pattern, but kind of a chicken to try it out. That's a good question. I have never done that. I think it would be really fun, though. Maybe we should learn together. That would be really fun. We could do like a Zoom call, and whoever wants to join can come join, and we can just play around with a Dresden plate and figure it out. That would be fun. But yeah, I've wanted to try it too. It's just taking the time to learn these new techniques. But yeah, that would be fun. Kate asks, how far apart do you pin when pin basting? I like to have my pins maybe like 6 inches apart. It kind of depends. I used to have them very far apart, and that worked. But yeah. But six inches apart is pretty good. I've seen where some people have their pins like, I mean, they've got their pins like 2 inches apart, and I just think that seems like overkill to me. Oh, you know what? I gotta press the tops or the fronts of these. I'm gonna do that really quick here while we chat. But yeah, you kind of, it's one of those things, I think, that you kind of get a feel for what you like and what feels right for you and that sort of thing. I don't think there's not like a rule like they have to be 6 inches apart or you've done it wrong. I'm certainly not saying that. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, Cindy, that was a good idea. She says when we built our shed, we buried the wires in PVC pipes. So if anyone in the future decided to dig, they wouldn't cut the wires. That's a good idea. I didn't do that. But that is a good idea. That's very thoughtful for future owners of the property and everything. But let's see. Kate Moore, bumps up on the batting. Bumps up on the batting. Is that a question? Oh, trying to pin baste as I listen to you. Ooh, nice. Very nice. So I'm just running my iron over my seams on the front, just real quick, just to get everything nice and flat. Okay. Hi, Auntie Penny. Oh, my Auntie Penny says we have switched to all click vinyl in our rentals when we remodel, and it's pretty good stuff. All right. Maybe I will text you and find out where you get it. We'll talk about it. But yes, Crystal, we should. That would be so much fun to do like a Zoom call where everybody can, if you want to be on camera, you can, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. I totally get it if you don't want to. But yeah, we could kind of play around and learn the Dresden plate together. I need to add that to my ideas list because that, I feel like that would be so much fun. It could be like a virtual quilting group. I wouldn't necessarily say a guild, but a virtual quilting group. That would be so much fun. Oh my goodness. Okay, my brain's going wild now with ideas of what we could do with that. That would be really fun. But okay. Aw, thanks, Paula. She says I would be great at long arming. I would hope so. It looks like so much fun. And Laura, yeah, exactly. She says you don't want to go real cheap on flooring because you want it to lay nice and last. Don't forget to put weather barrier before the vinyl planks. Yep. You're right. Yeah, that's what I keep on thinking because I'm like, well, I could save money. But it's like, well, there's other areas that I can save money in, you know. Let's see. I need a place to lay this. Just lay it on the bed and hope Obi doesn't get on it. I don't think she will. Hi, baby girl. You doing okay? She's just staring at me. Hi, honey. Oh, goodness. So after we're done pressing, then we get to cut our pieces, which is, I think, is the fun part. Because then you really start seeing the gingham pieces come together. So let's see. Paula says offering long arm services would be the only way to help pay for it. Yep. That is exactly right. That's right. So it will be something I will think about, or, if a sewing machine company just wants to generously give me a long arm, that would be okay. But I don't see that happening. I don't think sewing machine companies do that. Even for, well, maybe for like the big quilting influencers like Jenny Doan. But I think they don't usually give out free machines, which is totally understandable. Machines are expensive and all that jazz, but I can dream. But all right. Ha, Donna, great minds think alike. She said, I was just typing that hack I saw on the page. You said almost exactly what I was typing. Okay. Oh, Deborah says she is making a Dresden plate quilt. And she says, I started it by hand, but now I want to get it done. So I'll finish it with the machine and hand applique to the block so the look stays the same. She loves the Dresden. Awesome. That's really cool. Amazing that you're going to hand applique. That's great. That takes patience. Oh, Laura Green, are you asking there is a top and bottom on the batting? So technically, yes, if you're using cotton batting. So if you feel both sides, this is my understanding, and this is how I do my quilts. They're on the cotton batting, one side is slightly softer and the other side is a slightly more rigid. So I put the backing on the slightly more rigid side and the quilt top on the softer side. Some people do it the other way around because the softer side would be touching you with the backing, right? So it really depends, and I'm not sure if it even really makes that big of a difference. But yeah, that's my explanation of top and bottom of batting. Crystal, yeah, I will definitely sit down and think about that, because I think that'd be really fun to have like a quilt, like an actual quilt group, because okay, when I was writing for a quilting blog, I did several articles on kind of like quilting bees and quilting groups from days gone by. And I just thought that is so cool that, these ladies would come together and work on a quilt and, just hang out, probably do a little bit of gossiping, but, what are we going to do? But, they had fun together and they sewed together, and that was their friendship time, and I think that would be so much fun. And we could do that using Zoom. So yeah, I'm going to think about that. That would be a lot of fun. Oh, goodness. Okay, Jacqueline, sorry, I am not ignoring you. Okay, so she says you pick someone and send their email. Just pick a random question. All right, everyone that is in here, I am going to ask a question, just a random question, and whoever answers correctly first will be the winner. And then that person will need to email me, and I will get your information to Jacqueline, and you will get a gift card to Destashify. How about that? I think that sounds pretty good. So let me know in the chat if you're ready. Type ready, and then I will go ahead and ask the question. I'm just going to ask the first question that popped in my head. So let me know in the chat. Just type ready, and we will do that. Ooh, we're getting readies. All right, I'll wait like 10 more seconds. Get your readies in and get ready to type your answer. I think this is a pretty easy question. But okay. What is my white cat's name that loves quilts? The first answer will get a Destashify gift card. Oh, Paula. Paula was ready. Okay. Paula, you win. Her name is Kimmy. And she is quilt obsessed for sure. Congratulations, Paula. That's awesome. So Paula, just email me, or you can reach out to me via Facebook if you would like. And then we will get you that gift card. Congratulations. That was fun. I should do that more often with stuff in here. I like doing like gift giving. That just feels good, you know? Thank you, Jacqueline, so much for offering that. That was awesome. All right, I need to hurry up and get this done so we can get to cutting. I've already been pressing for an hour. Is anybody else working on this quilt with me right now, or are you guys working on your own projects? I'm curious. I know some people are basting and some people are quilting. Oh no, Crystal, you were calling me out in front of everybody. She asks a random question. Did you ever finish your butterfly embroidery kit? Oh goodness, I have not finished it yet. I have just been so busy doing other stuff. I honestly forgot about it. It's under my table right now, sitting on my I made like a little desk area. This is how cramped my room is. I made a little desk area underneath my work table where I sit on like a little floor chair. And I have a little desk under there. And that's where my little butterfly embroidery kit is. I need to go back to it though. That was so much fun. I'm busy working on other things. And in the evenings, recently, I've been working on that alphabet quilt pattern because I really want to get that done. I keep on saying I'm going to get it done. And it takes a while because I'm doing two different versions of each letter. So if you want to make it in kind of like the standard size, you can do that. And then I'm also writing it so you can change the size of the letters. So if you want to make like really small letters, you can, or if you want to make the letters huge, you could. So it's just, it's taken a while. But I've got through A through N done. And I kind of got in a rhythm and kind of figured out finally kind of an easy way to do it. So hopefully, I'm hoping to have that done by the end of this month because I think that's going to be a really fun pattern. And I want to see what everybody's going to make with it. So, oops. So no, I have not finished that yet, but I need to. Thank you for reminding me of it. Okay. Oh, cool, Griff. Griff is tailoring dresses for their granddaughters. That's so cool. Very nice. Fancy. I'd love to learn how to tailor. I just think that looks like so much fun. Oh, Deborah, you had cataract surgery. I hope that went well. And you have yet to get the other eye done next month. Oh, goodness. Yay. So you get to recover and then you get to go right back and do it again. Well, I hope it goes well and you heal quickly and your cataracts get taken care of. I'm sure that's not a very fun thing to have to deal with. But I'm glad you're here. Oops. Oh, Paula emailed me. I will, after we're done here, I will send your information over to Jacqueline or Jackie of Destashify, and we'll get you that certificate. Yay! That was so fun. All right, someone asked if I was using the new cutter. I haven't played around with it again. It's sitting under in my desk area. My desk area has just turned into my storage area at this point. So it's going to be very nice to have that shed. So I'll have plenty of space for everything and having like a big girl desk. Because I actually do work on the computer quite a bit. Just answering emails and comments and all that stuff. Pretty exciting. Oh, Marie saw that Fisker cutter on Amazon for $25. That's a good deal because I think I spent $45 on it at Walmart. But it's getting warm in here. Oh, Kate's working on a poodle quilt. Cool. Oh, good, Deborah. I'm so glad. She says that her surgery went well. Good. And you see more clearly now. I'm sure that's a big relief. Very nice. All right. I think I am caught up on questions. If I missed a question, I'm not ignoring you. I just missed it. So if you want to type it out again, that would be amazing. And don't forget to put some question marks in front of it so I don't miss it. But all right. I have finally gotten everything pressed. Now we get to cut. So let's see. move stuff around here a little bit. Unplug my iron. Oh, okay. Take a little sip. Okay. Oh, that's so cool. Is your name Shell or Shelly Browning? And that's so cool. She says she's getting ready to start very first quilt for her first granddaughter. Yeah, that's so cool. I love that. I love when people learn quilting because, you know, someone's getting married or there's a new baby coming. I just think that's so wonderful. Mary Hart, yes, that is also correct. Yeah. They say, did you know that if someone types the @ symbol and your screen name, you see it a lot easier? Yes, that is true, but I think sometimes that's a little more difficult for some people to do. But if you can do that, that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. Delicious. All right. On to step 3. And I'm going to move my iron before I burn my arm on it. Because that's happened. That's happened many times. So, all right. I got to move a few things here. But let's see. I see another question. I never get corners right on bindings. I tried the folding and the 45 degree sew in the corner and no luck. Which way is best? This is from Karen. I like to do the 45 degree sew into the corner. I think I've done a couple of tutorials showing it, kind of doing binding tutorials. In my quilting basics series, I did a tutorial on that. And I'm pretty sure I did that anyways. Yeah, I would think I would have done that with the quilting basics series. I would do a binding video. But yeah, I prefer the sewing the 45 degree angle. It is a technique that's kind of learned. It's not easy the first few times you do it, but yeah, I should check to doubly make sure. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I show how to do that. And I try, when I do tutorials that are like a very specific technique like that, I really try to get the camera angle good so you can see what it looks like kind of from my angle as best I can. So you can visualize it easier. So, oh yeah, Lena's finding the videos. So hopefully that shows how to do it easy-ish. My first few times doing it, it did not look good, you know, and it is just kind of one of those things that you just have to practice a few times, but hopefully that helps. Yeah, Lena is on top of it. She is the best. So great. All right. So now we get to cut some pieces. So the strips that we sewed 6.5-inch strips, we're going to cut 6.5-inch pieces from. And then the same thing with the 3.5-inch strips. I'm actually going to start with a 3.5-inch. Let me set this aside here. Or 3.5-inch strips sewn together. Isn't this so cute? It is very much reminding me of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, though. but I really like it. But yeah, so we're gonna cut out some strips. Focus, focus, focus. So first, I'm going to, you know what? I need to change the camera angle now again. I wonder if I can reach it from here. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, so we need to trim. First, I'm going to trim the selvage. So on solids, a lot of times the selvage is going to have these little dots in it. So I'm just going to trim that off. Heather, yes, I should call it the Wonka bar quilt. I like it. Okay, okay, it's Shelly. All right, all right. I just wanted to make sure. I try to pronounce everyone's name correctly because I have a weird name and I've seen all kinds of pronunciations and spellings of my name. So I try to do a good job with pronouncing other people's names. But all right. Mary Hart asks, I just hopped in, so pardon the repeat question if someone asked earlier, but without too many spoilers, how is the new studio space going? It is going slowly. So I'm just trimming off that selvage here. So that's what I'm doing firstly. But yes, it is going very slow. I was waiting on electrical stuff to come in, and I had other things that I had to work on. So it is going a little slow, but I am back to work on it now. And the last couple of days, I have been working on digging the trench for the electrical wire to go in. So that's basically the only thing I've done since the last video. So yeah, it's kind of a wah, wah, wah update, but that's what I've got going so far. But I don't know if you know, if you saw my last video, but I really hate like talking and just my hands are in the camera. But if you saw my last video, I'm currently working on a custom quilt. So I'm trying to get that done as quickly as possible. And then once I have that done, then I'll be able to focus more time on the studio, because I agreed to do the custom quilt before I knew I was getting the studio. And I just want to get that done and to the customer as soon as possible so she can enjoy it. So that is what's going on. So now I am going to cut my strips. So what I do is I use the horizontal line of my strip to line up with the edge that I just cut. And I'm also going to use these vertical lines on my ruler to line up with the seams. And that's going to help me get a really, really nice square pieces, right? So I am just going to line that up. And then cut. All right, do we have any other questions? Kate Moore asks, when using a chalk pounce to mark a stencil on the top, have you heard that you lightly missed the chalk with best press before you start quilting? Ooh, I don't know. I got a pounce pad and stencil to use. Oops, I messed up my ruler. To use on this quilt. I'm planning on trying it out for the first time. So I haven't used it, so I don't know 100% how to use it yet. I'll be doing some experimenting and figuring out the best way to do it. So if that's how someone recommends to do it, I would do a little test sandwich and try that out and then go from there. So I'll probably try that also. I hadn't heard that before, but it makes sense that that would help because then the chalk would kind of stick to the best press, right? Or you lightly mist the chalk, so then the chalk sticks to the fabric better, I guess, is the theory. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to cut, and I'm cutting these at 3.5 inches. You do not want the ruler to move. When I'm cutting pieces like this is how I do it. If you want to cut your pieces in a different way, that's totally fine. But I kind of take my thumb from my right hand, I'm a lefty, and I put the thumb behind my ruler. So here's the edge of my ruler, and I put my thumb there and kind of the fat part of my hand behind the ruler, and that kind of helps hold it in place. And then I just have my fingers on top holding. And this, for me, this helps a lot with helping the ruler not shift while I cut. Cut like that. And then line it back up. Cut the other pieces. Whoop. And there is our first strip piece. Cute. Super cute. That's what it looks like on the back with the pressed seams. Very nice. So just keep on doing that with all of these pieces. So I don't know if I'll continue this or not. We've been going an hour and a half so far, and I feel like I just take forever. I am a slow cutter. I will admit that. I'm a slow cutter when I'm just working by myself because I just like the cutting to be very precise. And, you know, I don't want to accidentally hurt myself. Oh, this is going to be so cute. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for coming. Oh, Diane says, when cutting long pieces like that, I use a hand weight on the end of the ruler to secure the ruler. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I've heard where people use just like a little weight. I should try that sometime. I had, when I was working for that company I mentioned before that sold a bunch of sewing notions, I had one of those little handle things that stuck to the ruler. And that worked. It was interesting. The suction cups were very strong on those. But yeah, those work too. It's just when I stopped working for them, they had me send everything back. Which I thought was kind of funny. But that's all right. I think I need to switch out my blade. I'm not cutting all the way through some of those seams. Ah, goody. Hey Debbie, it's okay to come late. Better late than better late than never, right? Get a little tongue-tied. Does anybody have any other questions for me? I'm thinking about maybe for the rest of this quilt, because I'm really enjoying doing these lives, but I feel like I'm taking forever to get through this quilt on the lives, because I apparently just have difficulty staying focused on actually working, because I want to answer everyone's questions and I want to communicate with you guys. So I was thinking of maybe doing a video to finish off this quilt. So it would just be a regular YouTube video where I show how to do the rest of it to finish it. And then I'll do a live maybe in 2 weeks or something. And I really like to get on a live with you guys and show you kind of my ideas for the quilt studio. I think that'd be really fun. So by then I'll have a better idea of flooring and lighting that I'm going to use, and I could kind of show you like my little vision board of like the style that I want to do, and I just think that would be really fun. I don't know if you guys would be, whoops, I don't know if you guys would be interested in that or not, but I feel like that would be fun. And I'd kind of like to get everybody's input on what you think. Thank you, Debbie. I love the orange and the pink too. I've been like obsessed with this color combination recently. I just see it everywhere and I'm like, oh, it's so pretty. It's very nice. Diana asks, are you planning on having an update on the shed? Yes. I want to have another video out probably next Friday on the updates that I will get done the rest of this weekend and into next week. So yes, we'll definitely be having more shed videos. And like I said, I think it would be fun to do a live where I could show you guys, I can like share my screen with you and show you my ideas for the shed. That would be interesting. It probably wouldn't be a super long live. Yeah, I need to change out my blade because it is not cutting all the way through my seams, which is just annoying. Let's see. Heather says, you need an assistant to read the questions to you so you can work and answer at the same time. That would be nice. That would be nice. Could probably get my sister to come in and help me. But I don't think she would want to be on camera. Will I be live next Friday? No, it will not be next Friday. Next Friday, I'll probably do, sorry, I got distracted by a comment. I'll probably do the shed update video next Friday. And then maybe the Friday after that, I would do a live. I'll figure it out and I'll let everybody know ahead of time. I try to make the post. I try to announce it in the video beforehand. I make a post in the Facebook group and I try to announce it on Instagram. I just try to let everybody know so you know that we're going live. So yeah, maybe in 2 weeks we'll do another live. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, Jody, yeah, you're right. I knew that from before, that doing most of the cutting before the live would make more sense. But I guess I didn't think. My stupid thing snaps shut. I didn't think of it for this one, unfortunately. Well, I had to press all the seams, and I guess I could have pressed most of the seams and then just done a little bit on camera. I just need to get better at that. I need to think back to like all of the cooking shows that I've watched and how they have like most of the stuff done, you know, TV magic. Oh, look, the casserole's already done in the oven, that sort of thing. I should do that for next time for sure if I'm actually going to work on a project with you guys. Ah. Oh, good. Thank you, Tiffany. Tiffany says, your advance notice is awesome. Love that you put it in multiple places. Yeah, because I just want everybody to know that would want to know that we are, in fact, going live and doing stuff. So I don't want anyone to feel left out, you know? And I also don't want to go live too often. I don't know if that, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on that. But, you know, I think a lot of people go live just for the sake of going live because they've heard that, you know, you make more money going live and, you know, all this stuff. And obviously I am trying to make money at this. You know, I am trying to make this my job, but I don't want to just be going live and not actually have something planned or something exciting to talk to you guys about and just be going live just for the sake of going live, you know? So far I haven't found that that going live is extremely profitable. So yeah, I just don't want to don't want to go live just for the sake of going live, I guess is my point I'm trying to make. Because I don't want to waste your guys' time. I don't want to really waste my time when we could be doing something a little bit more exciting, you know? Jody says, I think once a week would be perfect. Okay. Yeah, I think that sounds fun. Okay, let me ask you this then. If I were to go live once a week, would me also releasing like 2 videos a week, would that be, what do you guys think about that? I'm just really curious about your guys' thoughts on it. Because I have some creators that I watch that, oh my goodness, if they posted a video every single day, I would watch every single video. But then there's other creators that I watch and it's like, I'll watch you once in a while. Or like, I'll watch you once a week. That's fine. But I'm just really curious about what you guys think on that. And is there such thing as posting too much? You know? Oops. Oh, Diane asks, are you planning any sew-alongs? I would love to do a sew-along. I've talked about it a little bit before, but I need to I want to do some research and kind of figure out the best way to do a live. Here, let me point the camera back up at me because I feel kind of weird without talking so much and can't actually see me. So we're gonna go back up here. Zoom out. I'm back. So, let's see. What was the question? Am I planning on doing any sew-alongs? Yes, I would really like to do one, but I want to make sure that I kind of understand how they go, because I don't think I've actually attended a sew-along, which is kind of weird that I haven't, but I don't think I've actually done one that's like hosted. I think I followed along with one that was like blog posts, but it was old, so I kind of just followed the blog post as like a tutorial type thing. So I really want to make sure that I figure out how I want to do it. I don't want it to be super long, like 2 months long, because I feel like a lot of people would lose interest if we were to do a long one. And I would want the pattern to be obviously one of my patterns. I don't want to use someone else's pattern. And I would want it to be easy enough for beginners. So if a beginner wanted to do it, they could. So there's just a lot of research that I need to do to get one going. But I would really like to. It would be really, I think it would be really fun. I've kind of had this in my head to do like a Christmas themed quilt pattern. I've actually designed some Christmas themed quilt blocks that are super cute. And I think it would be really fun to do a Christmas one. And then by the time we're done, it's like around Christmas time. So then you can enjoy the quilt at Christmas time or gift it to someone at Christmas time if you want. So that's kind of something that's been tickling the back of my brain, and I think would be really, really fun. So stay tuned for that. And I will try to get that kind of nailed down and figured out so everybody has plenty of time to get everything that they need and kind of plan out their projects. Because I know a lot of people like to plan out their projects, months in advance. I don't do that. I'm like so spur of the moment, like, oh, I feel like making this, and then I do it. But doing this whole content creation thing, though, you have to plan stuff out, and that's been kind of that's been a little difficult for me because I'm not great at thinking ahead to that sort of stuff, So that's something I'm learning, kind of planning things out. But I think a Christmas quilt would be so much fun. It would be so much fun. I love Christmas. It's the best time of the year. It's just so much fun. But yeah. Yes, yeah. It sounds like everybody would like to do a Christmas quilt. Yeah. We'll have to I will think on that. I have to think on that, design a pattern, and get that out pretty soon, because it's already like halfway through the year, which is crazy. All right, let's see. Let's see if there's other questions. I don't want to miss anybody. Ooh, Pam. Yep. She says, I want to say they go live so they don't need to review. That's probably true, because editing does take some time. I actually really enjoy editing. I thought I wasn't going to like it, but it's actually very fun. I just think it's very fun. But basically, the way that I've kind of figured it, for when I shoot footage, for however long I shoot footage. So let's say I have 3 hours of raw footage that I've shot with my camera. It takes me twice as long to edit it. So if I have 3 hours of footage, it'll take me about 6 hours to edit it down. So, and then hopefully I get it edited down to like much shorter than 3 hours, because I kind of doubt most people want to watch, 2-hour videos or whatever. But yeah, so it does take time, and I think a lot of people probably don't. And I think a lot of people in quilting specifically, a lot of people are older than me. Okay, that's just the fact. And I think a lot of people don't want to learn the technical side of doing all of that kind of stuff. So going live is probably much easier. For me, I don't know if I would really say that going live is easier, because for me, it's a little nerve-wracking, because I'm I get nervous being on the camera and it's live, like kind of trying to get over that aspect of like, I'm live right now. There are people sitting in their homes watching me. This is weird. You know, but I'm just being 100% honest. But it's easier than the first time I did it. But yeah, I think you're probably right. They just don't want to edit, and it's just easier to go live. So, for most people. And Pam also says, don't burn yourself out. I'm trying not to. I'm really not. I enjoy having a lot of things to do. But yeah, I'm really trying to learn to not overdo it. I'm actually reading a book on how not to get burnt out. So there we go. But yeah, I enjoy being busy. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Several of you are like, I'll watch everything you put out. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea what your kind comments and emails and messages mean to me. Like it's very surreal for me and really, really cool. It's just something that I just never it's just completely not what I thought my life would be at this point. And it really means a lot to me. And it's just yeah, I screenshot several comments, and if I'm having a rough time or if I do get kind of a rude comment, I'll go and look at like my nice comments that I've saved in a folder and stuff. So you really saying something nice to someone can really make such a huge difference, and it just really means a lot to me. It really does. Oh goodness. Paula says I need a life away from the camera as well. Probably would be good. Probably. Ooh, Jewel asks, how long have you been quilting? I've been quilting for about 8 years now. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm certainly not an expert. I don't claim to be, but it's so much fun. I just love it so much, and it's so cool that I get to talk to people about it for a job. How crazy is that? But yeah, I love it. Okay, Jody says it's okay for those of us to watch lots of videos. We're used to seeing people's hands and not their faces. Okay. All right. Yeah. I just I talk with my hands a lot. So it's just like hands flapping around on the camera while I'm talking. But yeah. All right. Do we have any other questions? Thank you everyone for all your sweet messages that you're sending. It's just thank you. Seriously, thank you. I've never been very good at taking compliments, so it's very humbling to get so many nice messages from you guys. Thank you, Home Life with Linda. She says, honestly, I zone out after a while. I don't sit and watch movies, so YouTube has been great for me. Short videos are awesome and keep my attention. Love you, girl. Aw, thank you. Yeah, yeah. I zone out. I zone out on YouTube videos. Like I'll be watching a video and I'll kind of go on my phone, check my messages, check Instagram, then jump back into the video. And that's the great thing about YouTube. I think it's because a lot of times it just feels like you're hanging out with that person as they're working. So one of my favorite YouTubers is Rachel Moxie. I don't know if you watch her, but she does a lot of like costumes and like vintage inspired clothing. So she's not a quilter, but she sews, and she's one of my favorite YouTubers because it's just like hanging out with her while she's working on a project. So I like those types of videos, and that's kind of the types of videos that I like to make, is because I want it to feel like we're just hanging out sewing together, and I figured out something cool and I want to show it to you, right? I don't want it to be super like just like teacher student. I enjoy teaching. It's really fun. I like the teaching aspect. But I want it to come off more as, we're just hanging out and I'm showing you how to do stuff. So yeah. That's what I like to do. And I like just doing this kind of chit-chat stuff. I think this is really fun. It's very fun. Heather, who in the world could find something rude to say about your videos? I don't understand. If you don't like it, go watch something else. Yeah, that's what I always think. It's like, if you don't like the video, then don't watch it. I don't understand going the extra step of actually writing something with the intent of being hurtful. It's just weird. I don't understand that mindset. It's very odd. And I don't know. I've gotten some rude comments, but I try not to take it too personally because it's like, whatever. I'm not gonna let it, I'm trying not to let them bother me, So it is what it is, unfortunately. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy, you are a sweetheart. You really are. Oh. Paula says she talks with her hands a lot too. Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. That was actually, I think someone complained about that one time, and I was like, I can't help it. Like, you're complaining about stuff that's like ingrained into me, okay? And I'm not going to stop talking with my hands just because one person says they don't like it in a comment. It's just kind of weird, There was something else that it was like, well, my video that I did with my dad, my first video that I did with him. When I hang out with my dad, I am giggling and laughing constantly because I think he's hilarious. And we just have a lot of fun together. It's how our dynamic has been since I was a little kid, We're just joke around. And someone commented, they're like, the nervous laughter needs to stop. And I was like, I'm not nervous. It's not nervous laughter. I'm just laughing because I'm having a good time. But it's like, it's just like such a weird comment to get. And they were like so disturbed by the giggling that they needed to say something about it, which, was kind of funny. It did make it, that one made me laugh because it was like, oh, come on. Don't be silly. But yeah. Yeah, Priscilla, that's right. That's right. And it is kind of sad. Like, she says, sadly, there are just lots of unhappy folks out there and they tend to share it. And that's what I try to tell myself. Like, if someone's leaving just like a rude comment that's like, why would you even say that? It's cliche, but they always say, it says more about them than it does about you and stuff like that. So that's just what I try to remind myself and not get too butthurt about it. because, you know, I can't change what they said. And I leave those comments up because I don't want to be the person that just like takes down comments just because I don't like them. So I don't think I've ever deleted a comment from anybody. But yeah, it's just weird. It's weird. Yeah, my dad is great. He's a goober for sure. We have a lot of fun, and I tease him too because he seems a little bit more reserved in the videos. Like he's usually pretty goofy, but I think with the camera on, he is a little bit more reserved than normal. But we have lots of fun. All right. Does anybody have any other questions? We have hit 2 hours. And the viewers are dropping like flies. We went from like 60 to 30. So I think people are getting bored. But yeah, does anybody have any more questions for me? Oh, for the quilt that we've been working on, I'm gonna go ahead and finish cutting the pieces, and then I will plan on doing a video to finish up the quilt because this is about to pop off. I will do a video to finish up the quilt. And then our next live will be something completely different. And I think it would be really fun to do like like I'll show you design plans for the sewing shed and stuff like that. So I think that would be very, very fun. If no one else has any questions, I think I will end this here. I am tired. Am I going to add a golden ticket to the quilt? Ooh, that would be really cute, actually. You've got me thinking. Because I could make like a little, like the little quilt label could be out of some gold fabric. And I could like hand stitch golden ticket. Oh my goodness, that'd be so cute. Okay. I might have to make a fabric order. I loved the original Willy Wonka movie as a kid. Like that was like such a good movie. They made such weird movies back then. I loved it. Movies nowadays are they're just not the same, unfortunately. But anyways, I hope you guys have a really great weekend. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. This was so much fun. Again, we actually got some stuff done. I'm learning now that I definitely should do some prep work before if I'm going to be doing like tutorial type stuff. Cause it's just, you know, you guys don't want to watch me for an hour pressing seams. Duh. I didn't realize it was going to take that long to press, honestly. So that was my fault, but hopefully, our next videos will be much better. Next lives will be much better, and I'll get a good feel for it and figure out how to do them better. So, not Shell. I'd watch you fold socks for an hour. That's hilarious. I do like folding laundry. It's one of my favorite like household things to do is do laundry. I'm weird. Oh well. I will give the babies some hugs and kisses from everybody. Thank you. I'm sure all of the cats are probably sitting right outside my door waiting for their nighttime treats because they eat these little cookies. My friend Donna, I don't know if she came here tonight, but Donna sent me some of these little temptation kitty treats, and my girls loved them so much. I now buy like the biggest thing. Well, I'll show you. Whoops. I buy the biggest container of them, these little temptation treats, and they all get them every night now, and they come to my room waiting for their treats. So I bet they're out there right now waiting, because it's about time when I start settling down for the evening. But anyways, thank you guys. Oh no, Tiffany says there's a bigger one at Walmart. Oh no. Don't tell the cats that. But anyways, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you all have a great weekend. And I'll have another video out on Tuesday. What am I doing that video on? It'll probably be an update video on my custom quilt. I'm hoping to it would be really nice if I could get that whole thing done by that video. So we'll see. You guys will see on Tuesday if I'm able to do it or not. Get it done. So I gotta baste it, quilt it, and then bind it. So we will see what I can get done. But have a beautiful evening, guys. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you very soon. Oh yeah, please give the video a thumbs up, because then it pushes it out to people that didn't watch, and that helps with getting it out there to people. I don't know, the mysterious YouTube algorithm. But have a great evening, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye, Auntie Julie.